1, 2, 3.
How do you integrate structure and network together when, as a dualism? How do you get things done while doing the deep thinking?
The best part of it is arriving at the space of not doing, so it is being done through you. You are not the doer. But to reach that space is challenging because you have to go through proper training. That is where structure comes in. Often we tend to jump into that state of integrated flow where intuition and structure goes together. That we cannot before actually going through proper discipline integration.
Yeah, I don't know that.
So as it integrates more and more our nature gets integrated, then it naturally evolves in rhythm. Just like in music, you have a basic beat, and then all instruments come together and harmonize, and it grows together. There is a structure, there is a flow, and that is a training. How we train ourselves to arrive at that. Does that make sense?
So I guess I have a follow-up on that, but I'll leave the floor open for anyone else that wants to jump in first if they do want to.
Well, I commented something that what you said of doing without doing, and then building structures through training is very similar to martial arts. To me, if you're thinking while you are executing, then it's not going to come out. But then you have to put some structure, otherwise you will not be able to perform when the moment comes. I don't know if you see some similarities between martial arts.
Yes.
I guess also music performance and thinking in the way.
It is common to all forms of art, martial art, everything. There is a drama that we need to master, structure that we need to master. And once we master the structure, once we master the drama, then your instinct is ready to receive and to think also. And you are only available dramatic attention space for yourself. And you can put it. But you need to first have the right framework or right ground that you are taking out of complexity. Then you can analyze it.
How to get from complexity to simplicity and from simplicity back to complexity. How do we manage this duality?
Yeah. It's like fractal. The identifying that fundamental rhythm of the initiator and generator. These are the two things that generate the complexity in our emergence. So within us, there are these two parts. One part is of complete stillness, immobile, pure witness. And there is the other part, which is that creative. It's a force that creates everything. So putting these two together in our inner space is the foundational work to be done. So upon that foundation, you can receive the rhythm of the creative force. When you have a stage, you are the stage and the performance at the same time. So the training is to separate the two first and then put these things together. But initially we are mixed up. We are confused. But there is a whole complexity inside us. We do not know what is what. So we need to separate the pure consciousness from all that is happening in the stage where the of motion, direction, concentration, so to separate the two, we separate the cell from all other things, the community and the different. Then we can learn what self-driven learning or instant action. So that separation and conscious marriage between the two. It is put together. Like the passive and active types of our feeling. That comes out in the creative expression. That particularly what is happening in the reality of the
So, maybe you want to keep your follow-up question or what it resolved?
I'm just trying to remember what it was actually. I can make another one up.
I have a question actually, just to clarify for my own understanding. You talked about hi Manoj. When you talked about the programming framework that you need to arrive freedom, it feels to me like a static point from which then everything opens up rather than something the structure continues to changes even when we reach new structure. Does it make sense?
So the structure itself will evolve. So we need to start off with the existing grammar. Because this grammar itself continues and as the society evolves, as the languages evolve, or the forms are evolving. So we start with what exists and master it, and then open it. So in that process, what exists will undergo transformation. We will discover new forms.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the integration of what is now present and the transcendence of whatever doesn't belong to the world.
Because we are in that meeting point where there is this entire past and its formations and its structures, and then the whole new future that is coming. And we are right now in that moment where both are meeting together. And we cannot deny both. And both are to be integrated. So there is a simultaneity of the past, present, and future. And the future is what is coming. We are receiving the future in class. Otherwise, we cannot really break the form.
Yeah. So in this transformation process, there seems to me there's also part of cleaning up the self, right? So the things that you need to transcend, you to somehow be fit with. And I'm curious on a very practical level, what is it like human beings to go through, like past experience, the past and the great what is now, and I'm not familiar with like the concept of shadow of trauma or past experiences, frameworks that we've been given that are not feeling that are perfect and how we can feel
This is the biggest practical challenge of confronting the shadow and transforming. Either you are not confronting it with the last, or you are interested in your now. It's like the people saying, you may not be interested in God, or interested in God. So you can't just walk away. And there is this whole process of surrendering to a higher force, because there is you can say the garbage of the past that is stored up, that is sitting inside, that is at once individual and collective. And in today's world, since we are a global civilization, there is all the treasures of the civilization and the resultant amplification of the shadow and fear and soul of suffering. Everything is showing up the surface, and we are all subject to that. So even though the transformation begins with individual openings to one's own dark side, but it soon opens into the collective. And we do not have necessary knowledge. Our conscious part of the being is too small and too ignorant to deal with the unconscious. So we need to first find the right course, and then be brought into the unconscious. So discerning the finest part of our being, or rather the source of light within us, and finding it distinctly and consistently tuning into it, it's almost bringing light so the shadow on the transformation. You don't fight with the shadow. Say if you want to transform fear, you don't fight with fear, you develop courage. Similarly, if you bring into you the love and other parts to emerge and undergo transformation. But for that to emerge and transform, what I mentioned before, the separation of the speech and the performance is required. So that there is a ground of being that is immobile and vast, so that the emergence, the drama, the trauma, the pain, all that can emerge, sweeping us through, without sucking us into its works, so that it can emerge and release and transform. We are offering the lights, and the lights make ready and judge, and integrates all these parts of being, and you become a space of transformation. Because you are the container and the contents at the same time. And as we go deeper, we are also opening to the, what you can say, the universal dimensions of our being. Because we are not bound to this body. It is a delusion that I am limited to this body. I am this being. The being can open up and widen and embrace the large being. Into that, we are receiving into us the light, the force of our higher consciousness. That transforms. Otherwise, the premature opening can be violent, can be destructive, you can disrupt you, you can totally damage you, cognitive system, and delude it, and madness.
Well, thank you so much. That was unexpected and brought a lot of insight as well. Okay, I have a question, I guess. Hello, everyone. Very good to see the new faces, final faces. It's fantastic. I'm grateful for
I don't know about the sound. We'll see. We'll check it after it's finished. Don't know how the cycle works.
I wanted to start my presentation later by quote, or knowing how my memory works, maybe paraphrase. It's from Gandhi, and the quote, it's public work is my way towards self-realization. And I'm assuming this type of community, you know very well what he meant by it. But I wanted to ask, how does your community approach this topic? Does it aim to encourage people to engage in public work, and if so, how?
Yes, work with matter is central to us. What we refer to as the karma yoga, yoga of action. Now, it can be social action or individual action, but with the material life and its complexity. So there had been a kind of imbalance in Indian society when spiritual became more and more other-related, and withdrawal from the society became kind of mainstream fashion. And with it came the decline and fall and regeneration of India. So now it is a reintegration of the spiritual and material that requires you to be in action in the world and embracing increasing complexity and processing the complexity. So we are, for example, as of now, 3,200 people from 58 countries, managing a campus of 3,500 acres, running businesses, schools, healing centers, art centers, all kinds of things. And that gives the necessary complexity. And we also need to deal with that complexity in order to develop. Otherwise, one of the limitations of the early forms of spiritual development was isolated monasteries, which is cut off from the mainstream life. So here we are trying to embrace the total complexity of life, from birth to death. So we are building a city. So building the city itself without a leader, without a conventional social organization, without private ownership, and purely coming together as volunteers to collaborate and to create and to bring up our children and educate them and to sustain ours. All that gives us working opportunities. And since we have the diversity, that also brings the cultural confrontations to discover who we are behind our cultural facades. So stripping off the cultural facades is one of the major processes, and that requires this diversity, this opposition, this friction. So it's not very pleasant. Now, often when we have the idea about a spiritual community or things, we have very romantic notions about stuff, but it is messy because you are rubbing against each other and really triggering each other. And in that process, there is this chaotic emergence. Then you find your center, you find who you are, you put aside, you really get exposed of your bullshit. So there is no way you can hide, especially when you're working. See, when you sit alone and meditate, you can be a saint. But when you're working, there is no way to fool anybody. So the stuff is out there for all of us to see. So you're naked. So it is of central importance to work together in larger and larger teams and take up more and more complex tasks if we are to grow together and learn together and evolve together. And we give a lot of importance to working with matter and bringing beauty and order into matter.
So I think we could spend the whole afternoon asking questions to Manoj. But already past 5. How do we do? I saw Sam already around. And then I see in the schedule that Monique, you also want to have a parallel session. So.
Okay, guys, nice getting to know all of you, at least just to see all of you. Wish you all the best with your Unconference. Thank you for giving this
up here. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Manoj.
Thank you.
Oh, that was great.